Okay, so let me go and create another page. Okay. So there is one approach that we just saw, that putting the basic information by into the page blocks and all, and we are specifically mentioning the name, type, industry, the fields that we want to see. In case you want to see all the information of a record, okay, all the fields of a record, then you don't have to mention the fields one by one. You can simply use a tag called apex detail. This apex detail will display all details of the record for which you supply the ID. So let's take the ID and put the ID here. Question of ID. See, I have not given anything. I just gave a tag called apex detail, and by default, and I have to supply the ID. So by default it shows all the details of that particular record on the page, correct? So this is how this tag can be used. So sometimes when we feel that okay fine, we want to display most of the details or the entire details of a record on the page, we can use this thing, the apex detail tag. Okay. Now what you notice here is this detail tag shows the details of this record, Burlington Textile, because I've supplied the ID for this record, so it shows the details of that record on this page. Okay, so in addition to the details of this record, it also shows us the related list. What is the related list? List of the child records or list of related records. We call it a related list in Salesforce. We call this related list. List of child records, like list of contacts, list of opportunities under this account, list of cases under this account, right? So that is the related list. In case in your detail tag you don't want to see the related list, you just want to see the details of the account, but you don't want to see these related lists, then you should have set related list equals to false. Apex detail show the detail, but related list equals false. So this will remove the related list from your page. Okay, so let me again go and create a page block. Text page block, and give it a title called detail view. And inside the detailed view, put a page block section. So a page block section always has to be a child of a page block. Fine. All these things which you see, page block button, page block section, page block table, in everything which starts with a page block has to be a child of page block, means has to be within page block. So you cannot straight away create a page block section. You first have to create a page block. Okay. So what we have done, we have created a collapsible page block section for displaying the details, right? Okay. Little strange thing that you might be noticing, that the entire detail has come on half of the page and the remaining half page is blank, right? The right side of the page is blank and it is just being displayed on half page, right? The reason for that is a page block section. See, this is under a page block section, right? This apex detail tag that I have put it under page block section, right? A page block section by default has two columns. Okay, default it has two columns. Now what is happening here? The data is getting into the first column and the second column is blank. Okay, but it does not look good. It does not give a good look. So for that reason, what we need to do, we just need to make it a single column. By default it's 2, but you can go and make it one column. You can make it 3, 4, 5, whatever you want. I'll make it a one column section. Then what will happen? It will be a complete one column. See this? So this is how it's going to be. Okay, related list, I have removed all the related list, right? Let's say I want to display one of the related list in a different section. Text page blocks section, and you want to display contacts here. So for displaying one of the related list, you just have to say apex related list. So there is this tag called apex related list and you will have to name the list. Which list we want to display? We want to display contacts. You see, first collapsible section is for details, second is for related list. Okay, again it shows it in half of the page. The reason is the same, that it has two columns. If I want it to be stretched from the left side of the page to the right side, we just have to make it a single column. Done that. Same thing, in case you want to add one more related list to show opportunities for the same thing. Okay, details of the account, contacts, opportunities, cases. So in a very simple manner, what we have done, we have created a nice page where we have all these collapsible sections for different related lists. We can expand any one of those and look into those. Okay. That's a very simple code. We have not done too much here. We have created a page block. Under that page block, we have created 4 sections. Right. Under each section, we have put one related list, and under one of the sections, we have put the detail. That's it. Right? Are we all fine with this? Any questions on this code? It's very easy, very simple, right? So now, before I get into the other code, I will just want to explain a couple of things here. The first thing is that now we understand what we can do with Visualforce, right? So we can design the page and control things as per our requirement, right? The way you want to display things, or the way you want the data to be displayed in one column and 2 columns, the kind of page blocks you want to have, the sections that you want to have, the fields that you want to have, whether you want to show the related list. So that sort of thing. So there are a lot of other ways of displaying the data and all. So that is one thing, right? Now the other point is, why do we need to do it? Why do we need to design these kind of interfaces at all? Right? Sometimes customers do have that kind of requirement. Let's say if you have a long page, okay. So let's take the example of this page. You have a very long page, okay. You have big related list. Let's say under one related list there are 50 records, right? Now what will happen? The page will become very long, okay, and it will become a little difficult for the end user to look into that page, drag down and look into it. Let's say under one account you have 25 contacts, you have 25 opportunities, and then you have somewhere close to 50 to 60 cases under it, and you have more related list. Then what happens? For the end user, it becomes very difficult to control all those things, scroll down and find things. If you provide this kind of an interface to that person, he can just click on cases and expand the cases and look into it, and other things can just remain collapsed. So you don't have to expand everything at one time. Then you want to look into opportunities, you can just go to the opportunities and look into it. So it gives a better visibility to the end user. So that is the reason why Visualforce, right? We can create these custom interfaces to help the end user. The purpose of creating any of these things is to help the end user navigate through things easily, or maybe do some stuff on the Visualforce page easily, right? And save some time. So that is the thing. Okay, so since we have talked about that navigation part and all, here what is happening, here we do have a section which are collapsible. We can expand the section and view the details. Same kind of thing I'm going to do, but in my next example I will create small tabs. For all of these things we'll create tabs, okay. By clicking on the tab you can see the details, okay, and then you can go to other related list also, okay. So this is one way of displaying the data. Let me create a page where I create tabs.
Excuse me, Jit. Hello. Actually, I have a doubt. Hello.
Hello. Yeah, tell me what
I have a doubt in column concept. Column, like what data was in already one column, and I didn't get the point. Column one. What does it mean?
when I say column equals 1, I define that section, how many columns you want to have in that section, right?
But it was already in column 1 only, like column was only 1 before you mentioned column 1. It
No,
was
by
already
default, no, it was not 1. By default, there were 2 columns. So for that reason, the data